Controversial pastor Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary will appear in court on Monday. The leader of the Enlightened Christian Gathering Church was arrested on Friday on fraud and money laundering charges. Hawks investigators say they'll be looking into arresting more people. ENCA's Tsehuacho Moagi is outside the Pretoria Church, which opened for the first time since a deadly stampede in December. Tsehuacho joins us now live. What is the latest from there today?
Good afternoon, Tembegile. Well, at this point in time, the church service is actually about to start. There was a praise and worship service just earlier today. So they're about to start today. And as you mentioned, that Prophet Bushiri is not here, as is what would be expected, as it is the first Sunday service for this particular church this year. But joining me, Tembegile, is Maynard Manywa. He is the spokesperson for the ECG Church. Just to give us details about how the church is still continuing, because we do know Pastor Bushiri to be the face of the ECG Church. Maynard, thank you so much for your time. Can you just give us details about how the church is still continuing? What is then the plans and the way forward?
Well, the church is, I don't know if I should use continuing per se, but the church is rather existing the same way it's existed before. I think we have explained a few times that ECG is an international church. We have over 1,000 branches across the world. ECG Pretoria is just but one branch of the many branches that we have. The church itself exists outside of the person. Of course, in the past, there's been a tendency to conflate the person of Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and the church, but that has been incorrect. As you can see, thousands have gathered here. They've gathered in his absence, and they've gathered because people do not come for the prophet, people come to God. People have gathered to worship God, to hear the word of God, and that will continue to live with or without a man of God.
Now, all the other churches, it is, like you mentioned, an international church. Did all the other churches also start this year, or this was just a special time for the South African branch?
Well, all of our branches have begun services. Now, what transpired was, after our crossover, which happened a few days after the stampede, we went on a 2-week break, as is the norm and as is what we always do. We went for a 2-week break, but because of the loss of life, the prophet then announced a 7-day period of mourning and asked us to extend our services by another week. And then after that, he said that he felt that we needed to engage in prayer and fasting. He said he had foreseen a very difficult time coming for our church. At the time, we didn't know that it would be this difficult, but he said there's a difficult time that's coming. There will be trials and tribulations. You will face several mountains, and let us have 7 days of fasting and prayer to prepare ourselves for what is about to happen next. Those 7 days have expired today as we're holding our first services.
So now, what is the way forward, especially with the CRL Commission giving you guys the all clear? What is then the way forward for the church? Are you guys still going to be meeting families, and are you still going to be having that particular memorial service for those that lost their lives?
Yes, we totally intend to, and we certainly intend to. Our goal at this particular point in time is to at least reach some form of a settlement. Now, we have met 2 of the families. The prophet did meet them personally. He passed his condolences. He has been and seen the places where our family members were laid to rest. There's one outstanding family who have had grievances, and we've asked the CRL to assist us to with an intervention, with a mediation. So that is what we'll do going forward with regards to that particular family. But also, we're still engaging the CRL because we still want to have dialogue and discussions with Sanko. Sanko are an important member of the community, and we still respect that we live in their constituents. So we want them to come to the negotiating table. We want to be able to still engage them. We also need assistance from Sanko. So with regards to the families in Sanko, that is the way forward. The church will continue. We expect that we'll have a diplomatic service, as we usually do on Mondays, and we'll have our international visitor services on Fridays. The plans of the church do continue. We do want to build our own structure, and we will continue to go forward with all of our programs as planned.
And then just a quick side note, we do know that the prophet is appearing tomorrow together with his wife. Are you guys expecting any of the members of the church to be there?
Well, because it's a legal matter, I can't really comment, but what I'll say is that is a legal process, and all our members are aware that it's a legal process, and we don't expect that we should throng there in thousands. There are legal representatives. That is their turf. If the church wants to send any particular message regarding anything, we do it here. We do it in prayer. We do it in praise and in worship. We will not protest. We're not violent people. And after all, we do exist in a constitutional republic, so we must allow legal processes to go through.
Thank you so much, Maynard. That there, Tembegile Maynard, the spokesperson for the ECG Church, just giving us details about how the church is actually starting its first service today and how things will proceed, even with Prophet Bushiri and his wife still being in custody.